Hey, it's Stacy from Proven Winners Color Choice Shrubs and the Gardening Simplified show and podcast. And today we're talking the best time to plant shrubs and trees. So when you plant a new shrub, its first order of business is going to be growing roots into its new home. A plant can only grow on top, that is to say flowering, growing foliage, growing stems, top growth. It can only put on as much top growth as its root system can support. And when a plant's been growing in a garden center or nursery for a long time and that container is full of roots, the amount of top growth it has is already maxed out because the amount of root growth it already has is maxed out. So when you plant it, it's just going to want to devote all of its energies into growing roots. So ideally, you want to time your planting to give your plant the longest window of optimal root growth conditions before the most stressful season in your climate starts. In spring, the cooler temperatures, less intense sunlight, and more reliable rainfall that typifies most places makes it the ideal time to plant. And especially in cold climates, say USDA Zone 2 through USDA Zone 6, even USDA Zone 7A, spring planting gives you the longest possible window before your most stressful season, which is to say winter, starts. That means the plant is going to have the longest possible period to grow roots and get established before it has to confront the challenges of winter. So while spring planting is generally fine in warm to hot climates, say USDA Zone 7B through USDA Zone 10, the most stressful season in these areas is summer, not winter. So using the same concept of the longest possible period of good root growth before the plant starts to get stressed, that makes autumn, not spring, the ideal planting time in warm to hot climates. So it is safe to generalize and say that spring planting is best in cold to mild climates and fall planting is best in hot climates. But that said, it's perfectly fine to plant in spring and hot climates and in fall and cold climates because they each do feature a nice long window of ideal conditions for root growth. But there are a few exceptions that you might want to consider as you determine what's the best time for your planting. In cold climates, if you're planting an evergreen, it's definitely best to opt for spring planting. The reason why is because that evergreen foliage is going to lose water all winter long from sun and wind, and the best way to make sure that it can withstand that stress is for it to have the biggest possible root system. So reserve your evergreen plantings, whether they're conifers or broadleaf evergreens like these Dandyman rhododendrons, for spring in cold climates. If you're pushing a plant's hardiness or heat tolerance in your area, you're definitely going to want to opt for that longest window approach and plant those in spring and cold climates and in fall and hot climates. And finally, if you're going to be going on vacation or away to a second home, opt for the time that's going to give you the longest possible time to be at home and monitor your new plant to make sure it does well. We're going to do a summer planting video when it's, well, summer and not spring. So to make sure you don't miss that or any of our other videos, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks.